I'm Roger.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome to another one of RC Street Shop's how-to videos.
And what will we be how-toing today?
This is my favorite part.
Yeah.
We will be how-toing how to check the voltage on your LiPo battery.
It's about time.
You know, thank you.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those things that we have a lot of folks almost daily come in. Is my battery working? I don't know if it's good.
And you know, the people sell those little voltage checkers, and we can show you a way to get around having one of those. All you need is a cheap $5 Harbor Freight voltmeter, and your balance plug, and you can tell what condition your battery's in without having to go buy something fancy or anything else. It's a great way to test your battery health if you don't have a fancy charger, or if something's going on, if your battery won't charge, and your charger's blinking some kind of error code at you. Break out the voltmeter and check your battery.
Okay. Let's see. What are folks going to need if they're going to play along at home today?
You're going to need your battery, and you're going to need some kind of a voltmeter, some kind of voltage checker. I mean, if you don't have a voltmeter, literally, this thing is like $5 or $8 at Harbor Freight. It doesn't need to be fancy. You're not, trying to rewire the world here.
Yeah,
you're just checking battery voltage.
That's it. That's all you're using this for. And obviously, you need some batteries.
You do need a battery. If you don't have a battery, you have no reason to worry about your battery voltage.
Now, what we're doing here, is this going to be a LiPo specific? Or? This
is only for LiPos. Okay. Only LiPos require this. With nickel metal hydrides, they don't have a balance plug, so you can't check individual cell voltages. You can only check the overall pack voltage.
Gotcha.
And that doesn't really tell you anything, because with LiPos, you got voltage rules you got to stick with, where you can't go too low, you can't go too high. You've got individual cells you can access if there's a problem with those. So nickel metal hydrides don't care. You can literally throw them in a fire. I mean, it just there's no.
They're real user idiot proof.
Yeah, super robust, and you don't have to worry about one cell, being a little bit below the other ones with nickel metal hydrides.
So obviously the focus here is LiPos. LiPos require a little more care in the way they're charged and discharged and all of that, and so that we decided we're going to give you some education. Yeah. So, with the magic of editing, let's dive in. Alrighty. So, look at that. We got some batteries out here.
2-cell, 3-cell, and a 4-cell. The reason I'm doing this is because the balance plugs are different on each of these. So, here's your 4-cell balance plug. You got 5 wires coming out of that. 3-cell, you got 4. 2-cell, you have 3.
Okay.
The reason for that is the different cell counts. You've got 4 cells in here, 3 cells in here, and 2 cells in this one here.
Okay.
Now, the way you check the voltage through the connector, and we'll use this 3S battery right here, is there's these little tabs here on the top. And these are what the chargers plug into to balance your wires, and this is what your charger plugs into to check the voltage on each individual cell. So we can do that. We turn on our voltmeter, and it's really simple. On a balance plug, the outside positive, the outside negative will give you total battery voltage. So right now, this battery has 12.5 volts. It has, there we go, 12.5 volts. So to check individual cell voltages, what you want to do is this. Get your red, the one right next to it is cell 1. So cell 1's at 4.2 volts. Move both over one side, and you have 4.2 volts on here. And then over here is cell 3. And we have 4.2 volts here. So, it's as simple as that. Do it one more time for you guys.
All right.
Total battery voltage, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. Now, on a 2S battery, it's the same thing. You just go with these 2 outside ones here and here. And then here and here is cell 1, here and here is cell 2.
Okay.
And on a 4S battery, you just keep going down the line. So the outside prongs tell you total battery voltage. And then you run right next to each other. You just kind of move over one pin as you go through the whole way. And that's how you check voltage.
So here's the question. So folks, the LiPo, how are they supposed to know if the LiPo's any good or not?
Well, first of all, there's swelling. Swelling means your battery's going bad. So that battery's a little swollen. That's still a usable pack. But what's happening is, and there's a lot of chemistry in this that's beyond me, but with a swollen battery, what's happening is oxygen molecules are separating inside the battery, and that oxygen is creating pressure. And the more it separates, the more the chemistry gets messed up, the more it balloons.
Okay.
And that's why LiPos can burn underwater. Because when they catch fire, it's using all that oxygen that's in the cell to create the fire. And so you put them underwater, there's still oxygen coming out of the battery. And that's why they burn underwater. That's why they're gnarly.
So my question is, okay, now they know how to check the voltage. What are they doing with that information?
Okay, well, with now we have a LiPo video too. This is a little bit of review. LiPos, you cannot charge them past 4.2 volts per cell.
Okay.
So if you have over 4.2 volts per cell in your battery, it's overcharged. There's something wrong with your charger.
Okay.
You cannot go below 3 volts per cell roughly. I think it's 3.2 or 3 volts. If you ask a few different people, they'll get a few different answers. But 3.2 is a good number to stick to. If your battery cell voltage goes below 3.2 volts, your charger will not charge your battery. It'll say, oh, he's got a low voltage on a cell, and it'll blink an error code at you, or say, cell issue. It'll tell you something's wrong.
Something's wrong. And at that point, is that battery salvageable?
It depends on how low how low it goes. So we have salvaged LiPo packs here in the shop. We have a sophisticated charger in the back that we can attach to individual cells on a multi-cell battery. And you can bring the voltage up slightly. You just want to trickle charge it and bring it up very, very slowly, or else you can damage the battery. You run risk of fire. If you go above or below that voltage, you're doing damage to the battery. That's it. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that the first time it happens, it's going to destroy your battery. But I will tell you one thing, if you go too low, like you go down to 1 volt, you go down to 0 volts, you cannot recover those. It's just too dangerous.
And that's why when you're upgrading from a nickel metal to a LiPo, you want to make sure that you have a speed controller that supports a LiPo and has the LiPo shut off, turned on. So testing these is a way to kind of make sure, oh, did I leave my LiPo cut off?
Or are you having a battery issue? Like sometimes cells just fail. This is a diagnostic tool. This is something that will save you a lot of headache in the future, because if something happens and your car won't run your battery, or your fancy charger is telling you that you have a 3-cell instead of a 4-cell, you can go into that and go, oh, what is going on with my battery? And you can check the cells individually with your voltmeter and go, oh, you know what, cell 3 is dead. I need a new battery. So it will save you a lot of frustration in the future, because you get people that come in and go, oh, my battery is only 3 weeks old, and why is my charger not charging it? And we'll check the voltage, and they'll be, oh, okay, you've got a dead cell. There you go. So
and that also goes to say, and I suppose this is like the last bit of advice before we wrap this up, is when you go into the hobby shop and you're buying like batteries, chargers, you need to be 100% sure you already understand what it is you have at home. How many times have we sold a LiPo-based charger to somebody and they have a nickel metal, or vice versa? And that's where you end up doing damage to those things.
It's a safety issue, because what can happen is, we've told you guys this before on the videos, we've had customers come in that are just ignoring what we're saying. And when they buy a LiPo and we say, do you have a LiPo charger? Oh, yeah, I got that stuff. And then we ask them, you have a LiPo charger? You're sure you have a LiPo charger? Oh, yeah, I got that stuff. Then they go and they charge their nickel metal battery, or they go and they charge their LiPo on a nickel metal charger, and then they give a serious fire. And we've had a customer burn his garage down. We've had a guy almost burn his brand new hardwood floor. Brand new hardwood floor. Another guy almost loses his garage, and it's all because of negligence. They didn't check to see what they needed around with the battery. It's very rare you have LiPo fires when things are being done right. And it's very common you have LiPo fires when you do not pay attention.
Taking shortcuts and think you know everything.
So always educate yourself on batteries before you go and buy them.
So there you go. Pretty simple. You're not going to be solving the world's energy crisis by having this tool and being able to do this, but at least it will help save you some money.
One last thing, really quick. This deserves a mention. Traxxas ID batteries don't have balance plugs on them.
No, they do not.
So you cannot check the individual cell voltages on these unless you buy the adapter. Traxxas sells an adapter that plugs into this, which is for conventional chargers, which allows you to do that. And once you do that, then you have a plug on it, you can check it. But without that adapter, you cannot check cell balance, individual cell count. You cannot check individual cell voltage on the ID battery.
Okay. Yeah, if folks want to buy a battery, is there somewhere they could do that?
They certainly can.
Where is that?
They go to RC Street Shop.
Oh! Where is this magical place?
Where is this place? It's in Long Beach, California, 5521 East Spring Street, Long Beach, California.
All right, and
90808.
There you go. Plug that into your GPS. If you would like, you can give us a call, because if you can't visit the store, we understand. But you can give us a call. You can talk to Roger. What's the number, Roger?
562-425-9000.
All right. And if speaking words into a phone is too much for you, you want to send an email instead, you can, info@rcstreetshop.com. And our diligent staff will get right back to you on that.
That's me.
Yeah.
Or
we are also doing the social media thing. We are on Twitter, RC Street Shop, all one word. We are on Instagram, RC Street Shop, all one word. And, of course, we're doing the Facebook thing, RC Street Shop. Like the page there, if that's what you prefer. We also do the YouTube channel. You know that. You're watching this video. We always appreciate it. Please like the video, but more importantly, subscribe! Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it when you do, and we'll see you next week. Bye!